This is another battle in the Cup of Nations. The cool thing about the format of the Cup of Nations is that you will see players, instead of playing 3 games against the same opponent, you will see them play multiple games against different opponents and factions, although so far it's definitely been something Germanic versus something other Germanic, and this battle is no exception. We have the Prussian prince commanding the Alans, and the Vandals being commanded by someone. Gladius was his name. So Gladius, I just need to pause it here to appreciate the pure beauty of Gladius's build. Gladius has Germanic horse, he has noble Germanic swords, he has Germanic noble general, he has Germanic pikes, he has Germanic archers, and he has noble Germanic swords. So this is... and Royal Suebi cavalry. So he had to go and mess things up with the Royal Suebi cavalry. Aside from the Royal Suebi cavalry, every single unit in his army is named something Germanic. For the Prussian prince, we have something Germanic and something Sarmatian. You've seen this build so many times. I'm not going to go over it again. It's a fairly strong build. Now, the thing I like about the triple gold Germanic horse is that one of the primary problems of Germanic horse is their relatively low morale. So triple gold, let's see if we can just compare, let's see the Prussian prince's lowest upgraded Germanic horse. Here he has some 2 silver. They have a morale of only 43, which is not great. And if you look at the triple gold Germanic horse being next to a unit that has Inspire, the Royal Suebi cavalry, the morale increases to 54. So, and they're also nearby the general, so that was a poor example. This is a better example, 50 over here. But yeah, a definite difference in morale between triple gold and otherwise. And it can also be a good idea to keep the Germanic horse around inspiring units. These Sarmatian warbands are very strong, but they're not inspiring. So something that would have been kind of cool to see would be like a Germanic swordsman in the center here, inspiring all of these units. Noble Germanic swords, that is. Like over here. So although the Prussian prince has a bit more, he has a significant amount of punching power in his infantry, morale might become an issue, and the Prussian prince is outmatched in skirmishing because he only has 4 Germanic archers, while the most Germanic army here has 5 Germanic archers, and it will be interesting to see which of the Germanic armies are able to out-German the other army. I have a feeling Gladius, the Prussian prince does what he likes to do. He splits up his army, but it looks like Gladius is mirroring that. The problem for Gladius, though, is that the Prussian prince's wings are far superior to his own. So let's see, the Prussian prince moving up his archers here. Now he's moving up on the flanks as well, taking fire as he's running in. But he really doesn't have anything to fear here. He could just rush in here, and it does indeed look like he's going to do so. Just rush in. Running away with this unit so we can send in units here. This Royal Suebi cavalry is dangerous. It could wreck multiple Sarmatian warbands here. Let's see. Oh, very nicely done by the Prussian prince. Is he able to save his? No, he just wasn't able to save it. A bit too slow, but very nicely done by the Prussian prince. It might have saved some Sarmatian warband, but yeah, they got wrecked on that charge. So here we have friendly fire city over here. Significant amount of friendly fire being done by, wow. Gladius is just pouring the fire into his own units. But it sort of makes sense because he has the higher morale, and it's very likely that the Germanic horsemen of the Prussian prince are going to be breaking before the Germanic horsemen of Gladius. And indeed it does look like this, and this is something I've noticed in quite a lot of battles as well, that when you have blobs like this, the units, for example vanilla cavalry units or cavalry units that are only silver, have morale below the 50s, they're going to break really quickly, while triple gold units like this unit, losing decisively, 19 men left in the unit, it just stays in the fight. And of course, the general being close and Inspire units being close is very important, and you can see just how important it is here. Here we are wavering at 16 men, and these units are wavering at 16 even though they're not in combat at all. So morale, very, very important. These Germanic horsemen will get a good charge here, but they did take a significant amount of casualties going in, and it looks like they might take some more casualties now on the charge. They're not going to be able to make it in, and they, wow, they got wrecked.
The enemy is going for our general.
But let's see here, the general of the Prussian prince is where exactly? Oh, he's in the blob here, so he's kind of safe, because there are these cavalry units supporting there. Over here, the Prussian prince is starting to struggle a bit with his armations. The noble Germanic swords are holding very well. The morale on upgraded noble Germanics is absolutely insane. Their killing potential outside of shield wall isn't impressive, but the cool thing about Germanic swords is that they will just stay in the fight for what seems like forever. And I quite like the noble Germanic swords because they are so super cheap. They allow you to take advantage of the skirmishing of these guys by, for example, putting them in shield wall and just waiting. If you have the skirmishing advantage, that is. In this case, the skirmishing advantage was had here by Gladius. And it looks like the Prussian prince's general is doing a lot better than the general of Gladius. But in terms of men, it's very, very similar. A very similar amount of men left on the battlefield. It does look, however, that it does look like Gladius will enjoy a small cavalry advantage here. However, Gladius is doing friendly fire to his cavalry, and that is not a good idea when this is your only cavalry unit. So he really needs to pull out here. He's killing so much of his own cavalry. Now this cavalry unit is very important, and he keeps doing friendly fire to it. The Prussian prince also pouring fire into the cavalry.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
So it basically comes down to winning this blob, and Gladius does have a few units available to tip the balance of power in his favor here. But this cavalry unit, if this cavalry unit keeps running around like this, it's going to get shot to pieces by the archers of the Prussian prince. But he is going for a rear charge on the general of the Prussian prince. They will be able to make it because they have the charge bonus to morale. And now the Germanic nobles get hit in the rear. And the friendly fire now is going to cause a significant amount of friendly fire casualties. Winning here, the Gladius is able to pour in with his noble Germanic swords. And when the general of the Prussian prince dies and breaks, and so much friendly fire here, there's not much that the Prussian prince can do at this point. He could potentially kill the general here of Gladius. It looks like he does have the ammunition left to do it, but he doesn't really have any solid fighting units left. This unit is going to die, this unit is going to die, and then he's left with pikes and a few archers, and he doesn't have the ammunition or the men left to kill everything that Gladius has left. I think if he was able to do that, it would be amazing, but I think it's going to be chain route city for the Prussian prince. Gladius very smartly pulling away his general here, and a close defeat for the Germanics. So in this battle, it was a case of the most Germanic faction winning, and also a smartly put together army. Something that not a whole lot of people think about. They just bring Germanic horse and archers and pikes and some Germanic units and think, well, this is great. But and it is great. It is pretty great, to be honest. But the only issue with Germanic horse is their morale. It's fixed to a significant degree by having 1 or 2 elite cavalry units with Inspire, or having them close to these noble Germanic swords. They will make you hold for a long time in the blob. And yep, that's basically what it came down to. If you look at the kills, the Prussian prince was able to use his 4 archers to deadly effect. Slightly less effective were the archers here, but it's I can't really say that they definitely were less effective, because this doesn't say anything about what they actually killed. So 100 kills on pikes and archers, for example, would be less valuable than 100 kills on Germanic horse. So we don't really know, which it's too bad that it isn't specified more which units they killed. But yeah, that's what we've got to work with. So Gladius wins this battle. Congratulations, strength and honor.